A serial entrepreneur transforming business management. As CEO and co-founder of ToolsOn, he's building an all-in-one platform to streamline finance, CRM, operations, including fiat and crypto transactions. He also co-founded DDST Group, a leader in affiliate marketing, ad monetization, and media buying, passionate about innovation and efficiency. He's here to share his journey. Dmytro Tymoshchuk, thank you very much indeed for joining me. Welcome to the Leadership That Sells podcast, where we help you lead first and sell more with great insights and tactics from the best minds we can find. Every leader is in sales, whether you're selling products, ideas, a mission, or a vision, and great sales team in particular need great sales leaders. When managers bring out the best in their teams, targets get hit on time every time without stress. But most sales leaders never learn how to lead. They wing it or they repeat bad habits and the cycle continues. Sales leaders need practical, real-world ideas that fit their busy schedules, and that's why we created the Leadership That Sells Playbook course. 9 short weeks changes your world. Check it out at the Practical Leadership Academy. And now, on with the show.
Thanks, Paul.
I got the name right.
Yeah, it's totally correct.
Do you know what? This is the thing. There's a thing from Dale Carnegie, and he says that the most important words to anyone in this world are their own name. You know, whether you get it right is good, but also remembering it. My wife is amazing at remembering names. She's really, really good at that. She remembers the names and then says, "Oh, and did your dog get the bone that it was looking for from your aunt's second cousin 3 years ago?" And she remembers all these crazy details. It's such a superpower.
It's insane for networking, yeah.
Okay, so that was a very short and far too uncomprehensive introduction to yourself. Can you add something to that, please?
Yeah, thanks, Paul. Yeah. So I would say that I'm a husband, I'm a father of 2 boys, 4 and 5 years old. I'm a bit addicted to technology. I'm an engineer with my primary education, and have a bit of geek skills, let's say. But a part of this, the most funny fact, I think, that I'm not in coding, I don't write a code. I'm not a coder, but I'm helping my technical team to implement some sort of things and to purify technical decisions that they're making. Yeah.
Are you allowed to be a geek type if you don't code, though? Is that a thing? I mean, I call myself a bit of a nerd because I'm a nerd in specific areas. I'm a language nerd, I'm a leadership nerd, I'm a sales nerd. But you use geek, and that's a very strict term. Don't you have to be a bit of a coder if you're a geek?
No.
Okay.
No, especially now in the era of AI. Thank you, but yeah. I can make it like in a few clicks. Yeah.
Yeah. I was playing with Replit the other day, which is like an AR coding tool. You basically tell it what it was you wanted to build, and it goes off and builds things for you. It's incredible. It's really good. I mean, the sort of the agent AI stuff is very, very powerful. That's where the AI thing is going to be really, really interesting.
Hopefully, we'll play a role over there as well.
Oh, okay. All right. So. ToolsOn, then, you are trying to streamline business operations. You're trying to sort of integrate multiple management functions into one platform. And I think that's really, really interesting. When you look at where companies are investing today, if you can replace some task, people are interested. If you can replace a role, if you can replace like a $100,000 role using your platform, that's really, really interesting for investors, really interesting for the market. What is it that drove you? What was the challenge you identified that led you to create the solution?
Yeah, this is a great question. So the main thing, like being an entrepreneur for 13 years, we have, by we, me and my partner, who run a business together. We have a huge experience with the business operations, like overall. That include finances, HR, lead generation, the customer acquisition, everything pretty much. So the initial problem that we faced was with no common site for young businesses to get the tools necessary to initiate the business operations. For example, you need to go to one place to get the CRM. You need to go to another place to get the accounting tool. You need to go to another place to get the HRM. Of course, it's up to the size of the business you have, the size of the team you have. But what if there would be software on the market where you have all the basic stuff ready to use? It's like the framework that any business can use, pretty much any digital service business can use. And based on finance perspective, we started to implement the functions that are necessary for a company to switch from the spreadsheets to the business operations software, or to a particular business operations software. So we made around 100 customer developments with players from the affiliate market and from PR agencies. We have even few customer developments from the legal service agencies. And pretty much all of them manage their finances in Excel, like they using HubSpot to keep track of their customers and partners, like the database, actually. And usually they don't have anything to make in the HR operations, for example. But a part of that, they have pretty decent amount of legal entities, pretty decent amount of bank accounts, crypto wallets, because it's a digital business. It's necessary to have how does it call the substance, on the in the different locations. So basically, when you get into any accountant and try to explain the complexity of digital service businesses, you're getting stuck, because based on our experience, based on everything that we passed through for this 12 years, it's something that not really common for the teams of integrators, for example, and for the software that's on the market. It is possible to build a kind of framework in a Notion, for example, but it's really tough to be aware of what actually do you need in order to bring the quality of decision making, for example, or for day-to-day management. So yeah, that's what we bring on the market with ToolsOn. This is the framework that businesses can switch from Excel, from very basic tools they're using, and to get partial CFO, partial accountant, with the partial HRD, and actually the HR manager. Yeah, the place they can manage the team, partners, employees, pretty much all the necessary thing, for the business operations.
Okay, so you're talking, this is a technology platform that allows basic financial functions, basic CRM functions, basic HR management functions. Okay.
Yep.
So my challenge to that, and having lived through several decades of business and cycles, things start to be centralized and then decentralized and then centralized. Products are one-stop shops, or they're best of breed, or they are point bought, which means basically you go off and you buy something that does just CRM, you go off and buy something that just does finance, and then the market tends to go, and now you can consolidate, and now it breaks apart again. So this is a cycle that repeats itself over time. I've seen it repeat maybe 3 or 4 times in my professional career. How do you then cope with the challenge that if I'm looking for HR, finance, CRM, sales, whatever it is, and you're trying to build something that is everything to everyone, doesn't that end up being nothing to no one?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Like we explored this idea a few times. We're not building a Swiss knife. We're not bringing the end solution. For example, with the HR, this is the framework. So you can use it as a very first point of interaction with your team, with your employees. But for example, on at the end, you can bypass all the data, for example, to Gusto, yeah, and have all your payrolls alongside with your financial agreements with the employees over there. So we're not bringing like the final point, yeah. We're giving the basic framework for those who doesn't know, or those companies who doesn't have. We are the building side, let's say like this. Yeah.
Okay. So you're doing this together with your partner, your business partner. You're talking about trying to pool many different types of business operations together. You've got experience in business operations. You're looking, I think, what's your approach then to try and pull all these different things together? What I'm interested in, I think, here is how do you get the right knowledge, the right information out of the right people? How do you pull it all together? Because I think it's very easy to either ask the wrong questions, not ask good enough questions. I think it's very easy to go down the wrong path. And I'm wondering what I'm trying to ask here. I'm looking at the human side of this, okay? Because the technology is fine, absolutely, but people listen to this when they do for the human, your experience and how you brought people together to deliver something, okay? So it's your leadership that then goes off and makes something you can sell. How do you pull that together? What's your approach?
Yeah, so
Why as well?
yeah, so the main thing during our digital service business, it's like 12, 13 years now. We spoke with our partners, with our clients. We try to find because we don't have basic education in management and finances. Like I'm the engineer, Dima have as well non-operation. How does it call? Degree, yeah.
Some qualification or other, yeah.
Qualification, yeah. All right. So basically, we made a very long time customer development, let's say like this. On the market, we being present. The market is around 4,000 companies with the average size of 10 to 15 people. I think it's like, if we would say the average size. And the problem exists for a decade so far. Because the service business, it's not something that could be aligned with the rules for accounting, for example. And you need some sort of tool to bring it to pre-accounting, let's say like this. Yeah, for the primary invoicing, for primary reporting, to see the balance, to see the P&L before it goes to the accounting software, to anywhere, right? And there was no solution like this. So we come up with the slow cost dev, let's say, during 10 years. And recently we finish up, like when we initiate to build the ToolsOn, we made 2 months really tight schedule of customer development with the companies who's doing digital service business, like consultancy agencies, PR agencies, like I mentioned before. And with this expertise, we brought the solution. The one thing, like I'm gonna mention now, like usually people asking this in the end regarding the books. So we read the mom's test, the book about the customer development, and we really got a lot of energy by pulling these ideas to work through. And we got the result from the first interviews we made, and we couldn't stop. Like we made it for 2 months. We made 100 customer developments, and we just at one point we decided that we need to stop and to make the first version of the product to start to deliver. Because by the time we understood the pain points of our customers, we start to dig in too much. We define the first problems, and we start to implement the better decisions than we plan to make initially, right? So the expertise coming from the people who demand the product.
So you were clear about trying to solve a problem that existed rather than trying to make something up. I think that's
true.
That's if you look at most of the businesses that fail, is they end up trying to solve a problem that doesn't exist.
That's true. Yeah, we're coming from the market.
Or you're trying to solve a problem that does exist, but the people aren't willing to fix. Because if you ask people, is this a problem for you? Yes, it is. Now I've been there. I was with a business actually who spent several million pounds, as a big corporate. They spent several million pounds trying to solve a problem, built a platform, then took it out and they showed it to people, and people were, oh, that's fantastic, it's a wonderful solution, great, and nobody would buy it. Why is nobody buying it? Does it solve a problem? Yes. Does it solve a problem you'd be willing to pay to have fixed? No. Shit.
True.
Oops.
True.
That's the problem. Because if it's not something that they are currently fixing with bits of post-it notes and sticky tape and spreadsheets, then they're not fixing it. They don't care about it enough to fix it. It's a problem. It's a thing they've identified. Now you've exposed it. Would they like it? Yes. Would they like it for free? Maybe. What? Even if it's free? Maybe. Would you like to pay for it? Not so much. So it's too difficult a problem to fix, or not as important enough, or it's too expensive to fix in terms of time, far less anything else. So you've identified a nice niche here, a nice problem set where people have come and said, here are the priority. This is the priority. Okay. Here are the other things I need to have done. Here are the challenges that I've got, and I'm already trying to deal with it in spreadsheets and PowerPoints and stuff. If you can make it just a little bit easier for me, I'll pay you some money. So they're not ready for Salesforce. They're not ready for, I don't know, QuickBooks or whatever the accounting, whatever the different systems are. They want ToolsOn, which will then allow them to get to a stage where they can get something else. You're targeting this intermediate layer, right?
True. Yeah. Okay. This is the idea. Yeah. This is the idea, and this is the part of mom's test when you ask the potential customer if he wills to pay. But we're lucky enough to have mostly positive answers. Mm-hmm. But the best part of this, when they're asking, I hope it's not going to cost $1,000 per month. We're like, it's fine. It's not going to be. You're good.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've been lucky enough, but we're going to start to deliver this month, February 2025. And we're going to see. Like, being an entrepreneur is a kind of gamble, so we're going to see if it works out, hopefully. Because we spent a year 100% fully concentrated on ToolsOn.
So this is your MVP.
I would say we bypass MVP during demo calls, because after the customer development, we made the demo calls to understand if the platform clear enough for the potential customers, and we made, I would say, self-onboarding on the Westland. So it's something that the person should suffer to get. So what we made, we give the Bolt platform, and we said that you want the system. He said yes. We said, then we need your help. You need to fulfill the platform, and your final goal is to create the invoice. So this is basically the quintessence of the system. When you got the invoice, that means that you're gonna have the reports. You by the time you get the invoice, you fulfill the team with the employees, with the structure of the business and everything. So there is a certain path that a potential customer should pass through. So they made it in 40 minutes. It was guys who made it in 50 minutes, but I think it's not the worst scenario. Of course, they were motivated. We spoke with them before, but being the person for whom the software solved the problem and to make it run in 40 minutes, it's something that we're pretty. It brought us some confidence to initial idea with what we're building. So yeah.
Okay. So you've got the platform, you've got your customers, everything's going well. Talk to me then more about the people who build it, because that's the most interesting part. Yes, delivering something to market that's the end of the journey, but I think like life itself, the journey is the destination. So
Yeah,
it's the process of building it.
that's true. We have a great team that been working with us in DDST group. We took a slice of the team with the technical stack that we demanded for ToolsOn, and we asked for former CTO of DDST group if he wants to move forward in his life journey and join this kind of tricky path of being a startupper as well. So basically, he agreed from the very question, and it's three of us, three co-founders. I'm doing mainly CEO responsibilities. Another Dmytro Shevchenko, he's doing the operations, and Matvey, he live a bit far from us in Andorra. He doing CTO. So he is the CTO, and he's dealing with all technical tasks that we have. Basically, right now, everything on his shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
As for the background of our team, with the DDST group, we build a lot of micro products for mobile premium portals. It was something popular like in 2010, 2015. Afterwards, being the service company, we had the customers for whom we successfully closed the projects, and the team was, I think, like during 4 or 5 years altogether. So we're pretty solid in this term. By saying as for C-level, me and Dmitry, we worked together for 12 years. 13, it's 25, yeah, right. And with Matvey, we're working for 9 years. So he was the third person who came to the DST group, and by the time he improved that much and become the CTO. Yeah, and in 2023, we spoke with him deeply, and he said that he wants to move. He wants to move further. That's why it's three of us doing this. Yeah.
What's your biggest leadership challenge?
To find a talent. Because I have really nice experience of finding talents where they shouldn't exist. For example,
What does that mean?
yeah. I'm going to tell the story. It's really, really cool. Just before we started ToolsOn, we had as a part of service business, we had AI content generation on demand. Yeah, we had the clients who asked for the content, and being myself, bit in technical part, yeah, understanding how it works, understanding the framework. It was the question of the person who wants to become a prompt engineer and have it and have a taste, with the visuals, have understanding how the visual should be appealing, how it should attract the final customer for our partners. So I started to dig. Being Ukrainian, yeah, I started from the Ukrainian market with Ukrainian jobs market, and of course, like 2 years ago, it wasn't too much people who actually understand what's AI in general. So I started to dig in, and I found a guy who was actually making music. He was a sound producer, like really minor sound producer, somewhere in his basement, doing some sort of stuff, looking for a job to have some money. It's like just some. But I don't know why. It's like I just assume for myself, like if this guy make results with the music, then probably he have this feeling, of the of what's the customer wants. Like he been doing really well because it was before the war in Ukraine. Okay, so he lost main slice of his customers because of the war. And basically, I came up to him, spoke with him, like, "Are you in AI?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm kind of fond of it." He's like, "Okay, sounds good." I gave him a few examples to generate the images for me. He made it fine. I made few creepy images on the purpose, like to define if he have this stack. And he made it. He made it really well. And since then, 2 years, he works in DDST, works fine. The customer's happy. He's happy. And, he become a prompt engineer right now because he know all the techniques. He know how to run LoRa, how to run local models, what the technical stack should be to initiate the image generation models to run. There's plenty of stuff he learned during these 2 years. Yeah. So, and it's not the only story we have regarding people that been doing another business, had another stack, and we basically brought the opportunity to express himself. Yeah. So finding right talent in unexpected places. Yeah, it's something that we like.
This is getting really interesting. This is the bit is where you uncover that there is actually a reason that you're running two businesses, you're scaling two businesses, okay? And the reason seems to be you can find the right people. Because you
Probably.
can have a good idea. I mean, the best ideas are killed by the worst teams. But an average idea can be turned into the proverbial rocket ship by the best team, right? So just an average idea, but really good people can take that and turn it into something amazing.
True.
So you've found talent repeatedly. The English expression would be down the back of the sofa, you know,
Yeah.
right?
True.
And in my house, you put your hand down the back of the sofa and you find sticky bits of chocolate and stuff like that because my kids they use it as a bin, right?
Yeah.
But you put your hand down the back of the sofa and all of a sudden you've brought out a CTO, all of a sudden you brought out somebody who's a prompt engineer, you've found these people and you've then shaped them into something of real value. Go into this a bit more. This person you found, this musician, this music producer you find, who were they to you before you found them?
Nobody. I never knew them. I found them on the Ukrainian job website.
So you were going out doing a bit of, well, it's almost like a sales process. Well, everything's like a sales process. That's why I love
Pretty
it.
much.
Right?
Yeah.
You were hunting.
Yeah. He was mentioning that he using some sort of AI in his music production, but I think for him it was just keyword, and for me it was a trigger.
Okay. So you have, do you think it's a sense or is that something that other people can do? Where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
If you've got an innate sense of something, that's great. Good for you. Congratulations. It's damn all use to anyone else. If you have the ability to take that innate sense and then quantify, qualify, and explain it to somebody else who can do the same, all right? So let's imagine you're trying to teach me how you do that. Where do we start?
This is a nice question. Let me think about it. I would definitely look for the people who try to make something themselves, but never found a real world usage. In a sense, for example, being a student, when you study in theory, it's something different from being actual employee and doing a applicable job. Yeah, with the same knowledge that you can apply. So basically, I can give you example of another idea I had 3 years ago, and I was actually I never initiated, but I wanted to. I always wanted to I'm keeping it away for more calm times for me. Yeah, it's right now it's a bit more intensive with the ToolsOn. It's impossible to run something apart of ToolsOn. But the idea, yeah. So the pillow for the flights, this pillow,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So everybody has a problem with it. Like there is no one choice pillow for this. And I decided to move with another path to find an engineer with for example, the student or some engineer who's doing appliance jobs. There is plenty of people who's doing this, and offer them the idea to bring on the market because of the service digital of the service business experience. I can bring the product on the market and to spread it around the masses doing the marketing, for example. Yeah. So the initial idea was to find an engineer who can only draw in CAD. And being a fan of 3D printing, yeah, try to make the first samples 3D printed. So this is my workflow, let's say like this, with the ideas. I'm not trying to push them by myself, but I'm trying to make a roadmap, for example, let's say like this roadmap, yeah, and looking for the solutions that simplify the path by finding right stack of skills for the people who haven't found themselves, let's say like this, or looking to improve where they are, or looking to apply their skills on something different, valuable, and more interesting, let's say like this, for themselves. Yep.
Okay, so you have a seed. You have
Could be.
a seed of an idea.
Oh yeah, in this sense, yeah,
You have a
right.
seed of an idea, and then you're looking for people who like planting flowers in their garden, but they've never really tried to. I'm looking for an analogy here, and I'm failing to find one. Maybe you're looking for a seed of an idea, and you're looking for somebody who likes planting carrots, but they've never thought about trying to serve the
Yep.
supermarket because they wouldn't. Why would you do that? But they're really good at planting carrots, and you can think, actually, if I give you my special seed, okay, maybe you can take your skill and apply a slightly larger. How do you
Yes.
get that person to have the confidence that that they can do it themselves? Because I think one of the big parts of leadership for me is unlocking the greatness inside others.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, most people have great skill that they just don't know about, and that speaks to me of servant leadership. If I can be of service to you as an individual in helping you unlock the potential that's inside of you, we can together do great things.
Yes. So the first thing is it's uh, it's not 100% success for sure. There are people, as you said, as you mentioned, the great skills, but they have either lack of motivation, either lack of time, or they're just not ready for this, you know. So particularly, I'm looking for the people who has this passion to move, who has this passion to align with the same values that we have. And basically, I can pretty much define it like in 90% with the first interview. We're making it's for 40 minutes, 30 minutes, you know, to get to know each other. And I'm starting to bring the value and explain the possible opportunities that certain person can get by pivoting, let's say like this, yeah, or getting the job at our place, for example, yeah. So this is the initial idea, to have the interview, to hear the people. But yeah,
What do you
I'm
ask?
getting, I'm getting,
Stick on that
yeah.
for a second. What do you ask them? You talk about, are they aligned with our values? Okay. What do you ask?
Uh, First of all, I'm checking the background with their words. If they speak, uh, let's say, purified language, yeah, without it's like the literature language, for example, yeah. Uh, those people sound a bit nerdy, yeah, and those people have I don't know, this is probably a sense of the person, yeah. I never made mistakes a lot with defining the general portrait of the person. Yeah, there was some, of course, there was some mistakes when using this workflow. We found people who was not aligning with the values in the terms of working hours, for example. Yeah, because something that we consider as well. Yeah, so I went to somewhere. Yeah, so I'm stuck.
No, no, no,
Let's
it's
get
okay.
back to the question.
This is good because you've. I think we've just. I'm sure you've known it yourself, but we've just identified your superpower. So you have the seed of an idea. You had
Yep,
tools. You had the DDST. You have this magical idea of your neck pillow thing, which I will buy the first one, by the way. So I'm your
right.
first customer.
The
Okay.
deal.
And you're looking for somebody who has a core part of how you would translate that idea into something useful. Okay.
Yep,
So an engineer, typically an engineer, or an artist, or a practitioner, somebody who does something, somebody who has a connection to uh, to reality, not the abstract.
yep, definitely.
And then you identify: are they are they a pragmatic person or are they abstract? You identify language. If they talk in the abstract, I think that might be what you're trying to get to. Are
Yep,
they academic and abstract, or are they realistic and hands-on? Can you
yep.
do this, or have you only ever read about it?
Or are you ready to approach to make it? Yeah,
Mm. Hmm. And then you get them on board and you give them the opportunity. You give them the tools, you give them the motive. It's like a murder scene, you know. You have to have the motivation, you have to have the opportunity, you know.
yep.
So you have to have the motivation, you have to have the opportunity and the tools and the capability to do this. And you
Another, yep.
go on.
Another leverage that we bring in, actually, it just you helped me a lot to identify this right now. Another leverage that we bring in is the online job. It's something that people dream of, and basically, our team of 110 employees working remote, uh, everybody everybody's online, everybody's on site. There is no penalties that we have in the company for 12 years, never for not being present. So we bring this opportunity to get in online, and we not hesitate to bring people without experience. Initially, we hired people without any experience in digital marketing, for example, yeah, and we taught them everything that we know, and we build a tool set for them to get onboarded really in easy way. For example, just a brief example, to have the password manager. It was not so common in 2010, 2012. Nobody used pretty much the password managers. Now it's getting mainstream, but we use it since 2014. Yeah, this is the case, but this one is for crypto, all right? Yeah.
Cool, very cool. All right, that's a fascinating angle. Okay. I'm conscious of time, and as much as we could keep talking about this for a very long time, because I'm fascinated by how you, I mean, finding the right people is a superpower. Finding the right talent is a superpower. It is absolutely, it is without question, it's the first thing that every major thinker writes about. You know, you have getting people on the bus, getting the right people on the bus, getting the right people into the right roles, managing from strength, finding people what people are good at, and getting them to do that and not what they're bad at, which is a lot of what we spend our time on. We spend our time trying to train people to get better at stuff they're bad at. Why? Right? Why don't you train people to get incredible at stuff they're already good at? Because the difference between somebody who's a bit crap at this and a bit all right at that, that's meaningful. But the difference between somebody who's really good and somebody who's amazing, that's where your rocket ship takes off. That's where you get to Mars. You know, so
That's why you should, yeah, that's why you should always give the people opportunity.
yeah.
When I was working on my first job, I was really proactive over there. I implemented different structure of URLs we used. I implemented the uh, Google Analytics that were not used by the company of 2,000 people. But I was just simply just a regular one with experience like of 11, 12 months. And basically, I felt myself that if you want to bring something and you bring in the value, there's nothing that you can do. So right now, in the company, in DDST group, like we're not dealing with a day-to-day job over there, but being on the board, something we discuss with our HR department, we try to define internal talents. We try to define who is capable to pivot, either who is capable to get on the higher position, for example, to manage certain business, because still 110 people, not that much, like understanding right now. And there is tons of ideas that could be tested, but there is no people who are able to manage them. And the path to educate the person to be a leader in the sense of project, some particular small project, it's way shorter than to find the leader from the scratch, like from the interview, because they know the system, they know the people inside of the business, they know whom to ask, they know everything pretty much. So cultivating people inside of the company, it's something that we're doing really well since for 13 years. Yeah.
Bravo. Very good. If there was one message you wanted to leave the world with, if I gave you 10,000 billboards and a huge pot of paint, what would that one message be that everyone would see that would be coming from you, Dmytro?
Yeah. Be responsible and live by your conscience.
Oh, I like that. Be responsible.
It's something that my grandma taught me.
Okay. What does it mean?
It means if you want to do something, for example, living here in Spain, when people throwing up the burning cigarettes on the highway, they're not responsible. And be responsible in any sense. If you need somebody need help, offer it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Marvelous. We will take that. Where can we find you when we need you, Dmytro?
Yeah, I'm fully available on LinkedIn. You can find me with my first and last name easily, either toolsOn.io. I'm over there as well. Yeah.
And when is ToolsOn going to be available to the general public who need it?
General public who need it going to be after the March. So probably April, May is going to be available for general public, because we finishing our conventions that we visiting. It's going to be nearby here in Barcelona and in Emirates. It would be 2 conferences we're visiting. Yeah, so by the chance, if you're going to be over there, so hit us.
Dmytro Tymoshchuk, thank you very much indeed for joining me.
Thanks, Paul. Glad to be there.